Hello and welcome to the Western Bulldogs podcast, Barclay Street. Very happy to be here. Very sort of thankful to be here. A lot of gratitude,
yes, very much so,
to actually be here. Good to see you, East. How are you holding up? First of all, Laverne and Shirley, how's recovery?
You're good, mate. Turned a bit of a corner, as you always know. It's always the worst at the start, but finally walking around and running without pain. So, feeling good and excited about the prospect of being back in a few weeks.
On the comeback trail.
Yes.
So, Victoria has been thrown into a bit of chaos, COVID cluster, COVID outbreak, however you want to sort of describe it. What have the last 24 hours been like in a pure football sense for the team?
Well, it's been a chaotic 24 hours. We were supposed to be training yesterday and late the night before we're getting a raft of messages through about all of a sudden training's cancelled, we need to get a COVID test and then we need to isolate.
Yeah.
So it all moved pretty quickly, mate. So as you said, grateful to be in here this morning after testing negative.
Is it sort of organised chaos in that the systems are in place for when this happens, this is the protocol of blah, 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 go and get tested, training's going to change?
I think, of all things COVID has made everyone be, it's nimble. And what was the term? Agile, that's it.
Pivot.
Yeah, pivot. Yeah, all those words are very popular.
But it locked into the system, did it? And you got through it all.
Got it through. Everyone's gone through and had their tests to come back negative. So we're all sweet to go. So it's good news. And I think a few boys, their experience in quarantine was pretty much their normal daily routine. So that was no change for a few.
Did Jack McRae realise he was in quarantine?
The only thing he had to come out for his test. That was the only difference.
He was actually annoyed by more WhatsApp messages than he usually.
Wouldn't have left the home otherwise. So he was happy.
Didn't even realise. The big news, of course, this week, other than COVID, which clearly affects a lot more people, but news that affects a lot of Bulldogs people is the re-signing. Signing, not resigning, re-signing of the skipper Marcus Bontempelli. I mean, you must just be pretty excited like everyone else, I guess.
Unbelievably, mate, unbelievably. You know exactly what he's like. Such a special person, such a special player. To have him locked in for the next 4 years in such an exciting time for the club, and he's at the head of that.
Were you shocked? Had he been shopping himself around?
I wouldn't have thought so, mate. But if he, just absolutely wrapped for us and for him, it's just an exciting period. It's wonderful.
My little Frankie last night saying, "Is Marcus going well this year?" I just sort of went,
"Did you say no?" Because technically, no. There's not just going well. He's so far ahead of what well is.
Yeah, I just sort of. Yeah, I just hit
a
few
few
dot
points. I hope you gave it a no.
No, I didn't. I looked at look at Justin and went, yeah, I suppose that's one way of putting it. He's going pretty well. We're lucky to have him. What did you make of the Saints win? It was that's some beautiful football and complete football. It was obviously high scoring. But I think, people who look at these things pretty closely, it was the ferocity and the tackling and the selflessness in there as well. And the ruthlessness of just
what I was about to say,
wanting to go all
foot
the way.
On the throat and play to the line the whole way. We saw Bonty going back with the flight late. I think even Jack McRae went back with one with a flight, called himself Nick Rewalt after the game, which was hysterical.
And Lockie's mark.
Lockie's as well, sorry.
That was unbelievable.
Didn't take his eye off the ball the entire time.
Please vote for Mark of the Week for Ugle-Hagan, because I'm sensing this push for Shane Mumford because he's big and he doesn't get up, and let's...
Degree of difficulty though. Total disparity.
Oh my God. Lockie,
to run back with a flight... Just running with your head.
Underrated nomination for Mark of the Year.
Totally agree.
Please, Bulldog fans, vote and give it its rightful place.
The guys are doing an incredible job at the moment. As we've spoken about before, the vibe and the gelling, everyone's got that selfless attitude, playing for each other. And that momentum is how important it is. It's really exciting at the moment.
Do you feel like the standard sort of just keeps being lifted because, there's a moment like Lockie and then there's the images of watching JJ chase someone down from 130 metres away. They're not isolated incidents, are they? This is the water level rising of this is what it takes to play in this team.
The high water mark is continuing to get higher. So, it's very exciting at the moment, that's for sure.
It's great to watch. We're going to keep it going on a massive challenge this week. We might talk about that a little bit later. Bailey Dale at half-back.
Revelation.
he's making a sort of mockery of how difficult it is to play on the halfback. Like I've been telling people for years that it was like a hill start. You've got to defend, attack. You've got to balance it, defend, attack. Defend, attack. That's just so hurtful, unnecessarily hurtful, and not true. And people listening to this, they believe this stuff. They believe this stuff.
Sorry about that.
Your coffee taken off you. Yep, penalised. One coffee. Penalised. One coffee. But it's quite amazing the positional change. I mean, you know how difficult it is because you went forward and were horrendous a couple of years ago.
It came back.
And you can have your coffee back. You can have your coffee back.
Why thank you?
But it really is. He's one of those athletes, isn't he? He's got a knack for things. Table tennis, cricket.
He's good at everything. So as Bobo was saying, he can play table tennis. He's incredible at cricket. That hand-eye coordination, and you can see with the skills that he's got both left and right, and the penetration in his kick is unbelievable. It's been such a weapon of halfback this year. But yeah, it seems like he's really found his comfort in his position at halfback. He was having some great impact up forward. We saw that period. I think it was in 2019. He kicked about 25 goals in 5 weeks, which was almost that arrival of like, okay, Bailey's finally found his spot. But yeah, putting him to halfback at the start of the year was a shock, I'm sure, to him and to a few of us. But he's just gone from strength to strength. And not only is he having such a damaging effect with ball in hand, but he positions himself so incredibly well and plays in the air really well too. He's got courage. He flies for the ball, and he's just doing a fabulous job. Yeah, it's good to watch. I mean, it's a fun footy team to watch. I'm sure it's fun to play in, and I'm sure it's a bit of a twist to not be out there with them, mate. But you won't be without them for too long, we hope. Let's not muck around today. It is Sir Doug Nicholls' round coming up, and we want to talk to Jamarra Ugle-Hagan. He's waiting outside. He's eager to get in the team. He's eager to get in to the Barclay Street podcast. I think that's the accepted view. Very eager to get on the Barclay Street podcast. Can't wait to talk to Jamarra. So we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the youngster. Welcome back to the Western Bulldogs podcast, Barclay Street. Been trying to get this man on for a long, long time, and it's so good to finally have you on. Jamarra, welcome to Barclay Street.
Mate. Thanks for having me.
How you going, all right? How's your last 24 hours been? Crazy old times,
take us through what lockdown for you.
I was actually all right. So I went and got the test and then went straight home, chucked on Netflix. Didn't do much because we had to isolate. So, just stayed with the Favola family and that was it.
Yeah, nice. How many tests have you had now?
Losing count. Losing
count?
Well, in the hub we were twice a week, and then it'd be, I don't know, 50, 60, 100, something like that.
You used to it, no probs?
It depends who you get. It's different every time.
It is really tester dependent, isn't it? Yeah. Sometimes they can really tickle your brain and really... There's some very eager testers out there.
The first one I ever had, I thought it was the movie Total Recall. Like you're trying to reach into the back of my skull here. And it was horrible.
Yeah, well, the guy on the yesterday, he was just like holding in my nose. He's like 1, 2, 3, just holding it for 5 seconds. I'm like, just count to 1, man.
If you count quicker, if you're just trying to get to 5, just count quicker. That's easier. We'll see what happens. As we know, it's a rolling story. Hey, Jamarra, I want to sort of cover as much ground as we can. I know we don't have you forever, but tell me about where you grew up, Framlingham. I don't know much about that part of the world. I sort of know it's in that sort of Warrnambool area. I know it's near Camperdown, but
a couple of Western District boys.
We'll move right on through Camperdown. We've heard enough about Eastern District. But what sort of town was it like growing up? What sort of kid were you?
So down in the Framlingham Aboriginal community, it was like it's pretty small, but then if you look at it, it's like actually pretty big for a little kid. It was unreal. Like obviously having your family as your next door neighbour, and obviously down the road you've got your nan, your uncles and stuff. So it's like just one big community where you've just got the freedom to hang out with whoever you want, and like obviously you catch the bus with all your cousins. Like that's probably the best bit, except for on the way back because they're all like sick of school already. So but it's been unreal. I've loved it. Love living there and obviously growing up, but because you don't get bored, you've just got your cousins left, right and centre.
Always someone to play with.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you just a sports mad kid?
Down there, we always, because we have basketball courts down there and like obviously playgrounds and stuff, so I've just always been trying to play sport. I always look forward to playing Saturdays at club footy at East Warrnambool, and then like you go back and you go to school and then go straight to training. It's just like, I don't know, it's just unreal.
How did you go from the adjustment of Framingham community, Indigenous community, to Scotch College? Was that in one move? You're there, and then all of a sudden you're in the big smoke.
And how old were you when you did that?
Yeah, on the right side, that's the posh part of town, and that's the poshest of the posh schools, Jamarra.
Yeah, obviously it was a massive jump. I was nervous. I obviously cried when I left mum and dad and the stuff, but dad just said to me you're not going to get this opportunity again, so obviously take it. And then he just said to me, you're only one phone call away and 3 hours away. And I was just I'm going here because no one else gets this opportunity, so I may as well take it. And obviously enjoyed it, and it's got me here. And obviously, it's been unreal.
So how old were you then when you made the move?
So I would have been 15.
Wow.
Boarded for 4 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
So were you able to come home boarding, or did you have to stay? Do you have to stay there for weekends? How does it look?
First time you go there, you have to stay there for the whole 2 weeks. I think.
Yeah.
Can't go home.
Just
so
get used to it.
Yeah. But in the first year, I started going home on Friday arvos, and then coming back Monday arvos, because I just missed the Mondays because I was just, I don't know, I just found it hard coming back.
Yeah.
But then once because we have other Indigenous boys there, I felt more like I was at home anyway. So it just felt like a big camp with all your mates. And and then I started thinking because Morris Rioli came in, junior.
Yeah.
He's from Tiwi Island. So I was if I can do this, if he can do this, I'm going to be able to do it.
Yeah. The big adjustment there.
Yeah, exactly.
You mentioned your dad before. So what was it like playing a game of footy with him? I assume it was senior footy. How old were you at the time? That must have been incredible.
I would have been 16, I think. Yeah, probably 16 or 17. So it was recently.
Yeah.
But he was down full back, and then I was down the key forward.
Yeah.
So we didn't see each other at the game at all. He ended up cracking his ribs that day. Yeah. So
did he try a bit harder with you out there? Do you reckon? Because I would do it.
He's always
kids. I'd do that.
He's tough already. He just because he's a full back, man. Every full back's got a bit of chirp to him. So but it was good to get that experience.
Sure. And him being full back, does that mean that at training he was playing on you in the?
Oh yeah, if I got if I trained, he'd come play on me. But it'd be, I think,
look after you, or was he really trying to show you the ropes?
Try to nail me or something like that. But he'd look after me if something happened, obviously, because that whole East Warrnambool Football Club is just another big family that we used to have. But that's shut down at the moment because of the numbers they couldn't get.
Yeah, right. Are they gone, or
I think they're just gone?
They're gone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You ended up going to South Warrnambool, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to South Warrnambool.
Lots of famous footballers coming out of South.
I was going to say, what South Warrnambool feels like
Jonathan Brown, Leon Cameron. Who am I missing? Is there a few others?
Me.
Jamarra?
Just left it at you. Just left it hanging just to see if you could play a little bit. How's your patience going? Because I spoke to you before the season started, and you had the right attitude of you're just another player in the locker room, trying to earn your spot. That can be tested though, can't it?
Yeah.
What are we at, around 10 now? Is it a bit of a battle to you want to push your name forward and the team's going so well? How is your patience?
It's obviously tough seeing obviously we've got such a strong team. But I'm just obviously I'm still a rookie. I'm going to listen to what the professional coach of the AFL, Luke Beveridge, knows what he's doing. So I'm just gonna let him do what he does, and obviously just sit by the sideline until I'm ready.
I've got that written down as a bit of a life rule, actually. Luke Beveridge knows what he's doing. It's a pretty safe. It's a pretty safe. Yeah, it's like rain from the east 2 days at least. That one, write that down. Lefty, loosey, righty, tighty, and Luke Beveridge knows what he's doing. They're kind of things you should set your sort of compass to.
How's your health, Murray? You had a head knock recently. Are you going to be back and firing this week? How you feeling?
Yeah, so I'm feeling fresh. Obviously, with the head knock, it sent me back another week. So I missed one game because we had the bye the week after, which was, I don't know, I'd say good timing, but no one wants a head knock. But it's been good because I've obviously worked on my fitness a bit more and concentrated on just little things rather than looking forward to play.
Yeah.
But it's been well. Had no symptoms since 2 weeks ago, so it's been good.
Fabulous.
How's the thumb?
That's pretty well. It doesn't even look like there's a scar there anymore. So
quick little
done well. Yeah. I didn't expect it. My thumb was just out, and I was like,
So it popped out, did it?
Yeah, so I marked the footy, I got back up, and then my thumb was out, so I clicked it back in.
Oh.
And then,
hello.
Like, I was already bleeding, so I thought it was just my nail that went into the ground or something. Yeah. But then I looked underneath, it was just ripped. I was like, oh, oof. I'd come off. So I just kicked the ball along and just went straight off.
I'd have cried.
Yeah, for sure. I believe that.
Stretch up.
Like, you give your own signal to the bench. I'm not good. I'm not right.
That's it.
Jamarra, it's a Douglas Nichols round, and I mean, you won't be out there Friday night, but you're only a young guy in your first year of league footy, but you strike me as someone who can sort of appreciate how significant it is. For the footy community, none of us are left out of it, but particularly the Indigenous community. Do you kind of reflect on that sort of thing on this week and what it means?
I reckon it's a great opportunity because, like, obviously the boys run out in Indigenous jerseys. I reckon they love it as well. Like, everyone looks forward to seeing their Guernsey and the design on them. And, like, today we'll go out and train in them, and, like, it'll just be unreal to, I don't know, I love seeing the boys smile when they have put, like, Indigenous jerseys on and stuff. And especially looking forward for this week. Like, obviously what happens Friday, like, if we get the win or not, like, we're all representing the Indigenous, like, family anyway. So, it's unreal, yeah.
Can we leave Buddy aside because, whenever your name is thrown up, particularly in my world.
So by leaving Buddy aside, you're bringing him up. Yeah.
And
you're just saying, we'll leave Buddy over here, who hadn't been mentioned in the entire pod, by the way.
Okay, well, let's leave it. Thou shall not be named. I know you're a Harry Potter fan.
Yep.
But when you were growing up, your Indigenous heroes as footballers, who were some of the ones that appealed to you? Did you have one? Because, we all had.
So I went to Scotch College, obviously. Went with Lockie Johnson, which was Chris Johnson's son. And obviously got to connect with his family a lot.
What a legend.
And he looked after me like a Melbourne dad kind of thing. So I used to stay at his every weekend, go to the game with them sometimes.
He's one of the great people, Chris Johnson.
Yeah, he'd let you know. He'd let you know about it.
Well, that's my way of saying I know him as well.
That's good. Slide that in subtly.
That was the subtext. That was the subtext there.
No, but he was always like that tough guy on you. Like, he would always push you and stuff and let you know about it. But it's good because you want to say, because he's obviously a 3-time premiership player, so you just look up to him. And
are you able to give me a bit of insight and anyone listening in Eastern as well of the mentoring of Indigenous players, both sort of current and past players? Do you receive text messages? Is there a bit of a brotherhood there?
Yeah, so at draft night, I received a couple of messages before the draft, which was like from Eddie Betts, Charlie Cameron, and a couple others. Like, even when you just see them, they'll say congratulations and stuff. So it's like they know. Like, it's crazy how they notice stuff, even though you're playing in the same league. But you still feel special because, like last year I was just a kid watching the AFL. Like, but now I'm in the league, so it's pretty exciting.
I hope you don't ever lose that. And sometimes makes me a bit sad and you've never done it, but sometimes players, they become very professional, get all the lingo, and it's almost become a bit blasé about it, and you sort of move away from the kid that was drafted. And I think it's one of those things you should hang on to. And every time I've only spoken to, this is the second time, but you've sort of mentioned that twice. I hope when I talk to you in 10 years, you still hang on to that sort of childlike wonder. Who did you have a player?
Yeah,
Indigenous player.
I was fortunate enough to play on Cyril a number of times.
Fortunate or unfortunate?
Well, yes.
It's a privilege and it's
my God, it was a stressful scenario because he could jump on your head. His sideways movement was outrageous. It was like a mosquito, tough, and he was outrageously quick, and he was just so dangerous. So, I had front row seats to see what he could do, and just admired him for a long time.
Miss Cyril's the only player I was ever aware of when I had the ball. I'd get it and be like, where is he? It was like a shark in the water. I was like,
he'd make that decision so quick to go, and he would just mow you down. And you're right, he would hurt.
Yeah,
he would absolutely pile drive you.
In Launceston one day, we were playing Hawks in Tassie. It was a beautiful place to play footy, except you had to play the Hawks. And Cyril got the ball on the wing. Well, it was just he and I for it wasn't many people. And I just sort of looked at him and silently said, you can kick it wherever you want to go. I'm not going to rush you, but if you make me look stupid here, that is bad darts. So just you can kick it wherever you want to go. Let's just keep it all nice.
Can't be a missed tackle if you don't attempt it.
That's right. You just keep it nice and simple here. Well, it's a huge second half of the year coming up for you, mate. And just keep at it. I know you will. The boys will be pushing you along. It's a special team and a special footy club you're a part of. So really enjoying that side of it. But we do have 3 stock questions. You know, you're just another bare bum in the showers. You're just another player in the locker room. No special treatment for you on the Barclay Street podcast. So we've got 3 questions we ask all the players. Okay, I know you would have heard about it because all the players are talking about Barclay.
I'm obviously an avid listener too.
Yeah.
I'm sure he would have gone back through the catalogue.
First question is, what was the scariest movie you watched as a kid? What was the movie that terrified you as a youngster?
Oh wow.
Or as an adult?
I don't even know. Like, I'd say like one of the Paranormal Activities ones because I'd have Dad next to me.
Yep.
He'd be like, "Oh, this is based on a true story, mate."
Dad, and I'm just a little bit of seasoning from Dad. What?
I'm sitting there like, what? Yeah. So then, Mum never watches it with us because when she gets scared, she just starts laughing. So, like, she's completely different. I know it's a bit different.
Like as a sort of nervous response.
And then, but Dad always tries to scare her and stuff. So he's like, but he's into all that scare. Like he'd sit there and watch it on his own. I'm like,
how?
I'm not doing that because we have little
torture.
Like obviously little brothers, and they just come in and watch it as well. But they're like, no, I'm not watching it. Go straight to bed with Mum.
Yeah, the Paranormal Activities. They're sort of popcorn, but they were scary.
It was just the realness of it. It's too.
They do a good shock.
CGI. Yeah,
a good shock death.
Yeah, you really picture yourself in the situation, which overwhelms my brain.
Yeah. I assume you're a basketball fan. I think I've seen you shooting hoops on the old social media on occasion. So I assume you watched The Last Dance, the Chicago Bulls documentary. Yeah. If we take Michael Jordan out of it, can't pick him, which character, which player, which sort of person in that documentary were you sort of most intrigued by, most interested by?
I'd say, I don't know. I'd probably say Pippen, or like I don't know.
That's 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row for Pippen.
Rodman, because like he's just but there's already one with him. But he's just like his own character. He just does whatever he wants. That guy. Yeah.
But what is it about Scottie Pippen, you reckon?
Just to see how I don't know how his journey was, because obviously spotlight was on MJ, but you just like to see what his thoughts were, and like, you know, I don't know, just his journey, because it would have been tough, but it would have been also easy on the court.
Yeah. He was. His story was really fascinating, wasn't it?
And I think there's lots more of it that wasn't told. I know he wasn't happy.
No, I don't
with
think
how he was kind of portrayed. So it'll be interesting to see if.
Well, he had a couple of blowouts, didn't he? Yeah. And they were kind of highlighted.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm glad we got another Pippen.
Finally,
that's good.
That counts as questions bounced back.
We were on a hot streak of Rodman, and we were starting to get a little bit. Yeah, we were starting to get a bit like.
Yes.
So well done for zagging.
But we've changed it up, and we introduced a new question last week, which went down very well.
It's our personal favourite.
Yeah, this is all for us. The great Archie Selleck, who is the king of nicknames, he's called me Weston ever since I got here. He's called Murph Dan, I believe. Dan Murphy.
Dan
so
Murphy.
He loves a pun and loves just repeating it.
It's either very obvious or very avant-garde.
Yeah.
It's like really weird nickname or really obvious. And Jamarra Ugle-Hagan.
Has he given you a nickname yet? Has he graced you with one?
Oh, I haven't copped one yet, so that's a good thing.
Arch, work for Arch. Okay. Well,
wind him up
today. I'll get him onto it.
Kind of like
that's not good from Arch. Normally he's straight onto it.
Yeah, he is.
We'll give him
now we have to make a plan. Do we get Jamarra to work for one, or do we just let Archie do his thing? Because there's no way Archie gets through the end of the season without giving him a nickname. So I think we just play it cool.
Yeah, true.
Play it cool, and we can get you back on maybe later on in the year.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. So when's your next game? What's on for the next little bit?
So we play Sunday, the VFL team, against KC Demons, which are also undefeated. So
cool.
Big game.
Nice one.
It's going to be a big game.
Well, mate, it's great to have you on the Barclay Street podcast. We've loved watching you do your thing in the VFL this year. We can't wait to see when you make your debut and go on to have a long career for the Western Bulldogs. Been great to chat. and on Sir Douglas Nicholls' round. It's great to have a young, proud Indigenous man on our show and in our colours, and we mean that from the bottom of our heart. Absolutely. So from me to you and from us to you and everyone, good luck for the rest of the year, and go Dogs.
Cheers, guys.